Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Josh Embry, and you are watching The Embry Zone, the show where I talk about all things fitness and health, as well as my own personal passions for anime and video games. Today's episode, we're going over progressive overload basics. What is progressive overload? Let's find out. Okay, guys, so what is progressive overload? It's the method that we use to increase our strength, increase our muscle size, and over time improve performance in the gym. It's a very basic concept, but I wanted to cover it so that we could have a basic understanding on my channel if you needed to. So the basic principle of progressive overload is, let's say you go to the gym and you lift 100 pounds on the bench press for 8, and you do that, and it's a good weight for you or whatever, you know. It feels like you are getting a workout from, let's say, 3 sets of 100 by 8, and you're able to complete all of those sets, right? Well, then the next time you go back to do bench press, maybe a week later or a couple days later or something, you might want to think about lifting more, progressively overloading the muscle fibers that you're trying to work. Okay, so you can do that in several different ways. You can increase the weight, you can increase the reps, you can decrease the tempo and increase like the amount of time under tension, which is actually very important for muscle growth. What you want to aim for is 45 seconds of time under tension when you're going for a working set of any muscle group, really, for most lifts. That's going to allow you to have stimulus for your muscles that they need to grow. So progressive overload is simply just what we call the systematic increase over time of lifting a little bit more, putting a little bit more stimulus on your muscles as you go forward, as you go up, and that's how you're going to give it the stimulus it needs for growth, and that's how you're going to increase your strength, increase your muscle size, whether your goal is for strength gain or hypertrophy for muscle gain. You know, this concept of progressive overload applies to both. So let's talk about some basic structure of what you should do if you're looking to start a progressive overload in your workout structure, right? So there's a couple things to understand. We got to understand what the basics of muscle growth are. Okay, so our muscles have 2 states, and it's constantly in one of those states, throughout your entire life. Your muscles are going to either be in a catabolic state or an anabolic state, and they're always going to be in one of those states, depending on, what you're doing, the stimulus you may be putting on it, all kinds of factors, right? How much sleep you're getting, hormones, and all that stuff. But they will come and go. Okay, it's not going to always be anabolic. It's not going to always be catabolic. They're like waves of anabolic, catabolic, anabolic, catabolic. So what you're trying to do is, your goal is to have more anabolic state in your muscles than catabolic, and you do that by training, by giving your body the stimulus to grow, the stimulus to have a more anabolic state than a catabolic state, and over time that will increase your strength, your muscle size, and so on and so forth. So now that we have a basic understanding of what muscle growth is, how do we apply progressive overload to that? Well, like I said before, it's just the simple concept of increasing the stimulus to your muscles over time. But there's a few things you need to keep in mind. If you work a muscle group one day on day 1, you should not work it on day 2. Okay, your body needs at least 24 to 48 hours between workout stimulus per muscle group, with the only exception being maybe abs. But I don't really honestly train my abs specifically. You can if you want to, but you get a lot of core strength and core utilization just from all your other lifts. You're always going to be stabilizing with your core, so you don't really need to have a dedicated ab workout program, in my personal opinion. Another thing you need to keep in mind is that you may not always be able to lift more, right? But there are different ways, different techniques to increase muscle stimulus, right? To increase the difficulty in different ways, which I covered earlier. But like I said, you can increase the reps. You don't have to increase the weight. You can increase the weight, reps. You can increase the time under tension, slow your rep down. You can do drop sets. Okay, and then there is going to come a time when you're crushing it in the gym one day, and then you come in the next day, and for whatever reason, you just can't do as much as you did last time. You can't do more, and that is normal. That's perfectly normal. If you try to go do your working sets and you don't feel as strong, you can't complete the reps like you did last time, that is your body telling you that it's time for a deload. A deload is you just need to decrease your weight. You need to decrease your weight that workout session, at least that workout session, and come back the next time and try and see how it feels. Okay, your body's not going to always be ready to perform at its top level. Maybe you need more. Maybe you didn't get enough sleep last week. You might be overtraining your muscles, and they just need an extra little help to get to that recovery level, to where you can then push it again. That's okay. That's normal. And I know it can be kind of a bummer when you go in and you're all hyped up, like, oh yes, I can't wait to lift a little bit more, and just I can't wait to try and get a little bit higher, a little higher. But it's normal. You're gonna have deload days. You're gonna have deload weeks. If you want to have a deload week, this is a normal part of progression. Body isn't a machine. It needs time to recover. It needs rest. You've got to take care of it outside of the gym and inside of the gym. Okay? Don't push yourself and get an injury. Take the deload day. Remove some of the weight. Remove some of the reps. Get a solid workout in without pushing yourself too hard, pushing yourself to the next level that day. And when you come back, try it again. See if you're ready to push it further again. So that's going to do it for that part. Now it's time for my anime spotlight for all you geeky nerds out there like me. Today I'm going to spotlight a new anime that came out in 2021. So I kind of like how last time I went to Yu Yu Hakusho from the 90s, and now I'm going back to something new. This anime is called Kemono Jihen. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Jihen. Kemono Jihen. But it's on Funimation. It's been on there since earlier this year. It is a 2021 anime. I have a little brief history written down. I'll let you guys hear a little bit about it, and then we'll talk about it. The manga series was written and illustrated by Sho Amoto. Sho Aimoto. Hopefully I got close. We'll see. It was serialized by Shu Aisha's shonen manga magazine called it was called Jump Square. It was serialized since December 2016, and it has collected a total of 15 tankobon volumes as of November 2021. The anime adaptation aired from January to March 2021 of this year, and has since been picked up by Funimation, and it is currently streaming. I watched it in dub, so it is in dub. I believe you probably could find it in sub as well. I didn't check, but you will be able to watch this on Funimation app or probably wherever you like to watch anime. But yeah, that's the brief history. It's pretty new, but okay. So, dude, here's a little graphic, right? So, this anime was just a show that I decided to try out one day, and you know what? It's really good. There's only one season up right now of the anime, and it's excellent. It really is. The storytelling is top notch. The end of the first episode, you will be hooked. I mean, I was. It's got a great. I don't want to spoil anything, okay? But the characters are written very well. The dialogue's written very well. I enjoyed the character progression. It's nothing too complicated, but it's very interesting. And visually, it looks great. I think it's a beautiful modern anime. The story is really good. But I would say that one of the best things about this anime is the fighting sequences are surprisingly top notch. Like everything, all the other elements of the show and the story are good as well. But when you just get to the fighting sequences, you're blown away. It's like, whoa! I can't believe he just did that. Like it's really. You're going to be entertained. If you like anime fighting sequences, you are going to like this anime. Give it a shot. The main character is 13. He's got some friends who come in later in the series, like who are 14, and then they kind of have this almost like a father-like figure who's taking care of them. And I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, so it's very good, and I definitely encourage you to give it a shot if you like fighting animes, if you like animes with a good character and great visuals. Give Kemono Jihen a try. It's really good. Alright, that's going to do it for today's video. In the level up section, my personal fitness journey update. I'm doing okay. It was Christmas yesterday, and I definitely went over my calorie limit. So I'm sorry, guys, but that's the truth, and so I did. But today I'm back on track. Getting together with the family and having all that delicious food in your face, it can be difficult. And I want you to understand that, it's okay to mess up one day. That is not going to destroy your diet. It's not going to you're not going to gain a bunch of weight from overeating one time. It's the continuation of that activity again and again and again. So just make sure if you fall off, get back on track immediately. The longer you stay off the tracks, the longer it's easier to stay off the tracks. And the same for being on the tracks. The longer you stay on track, the easier it is to stay on track. It's those habits, guys. You've got to learn to try and have a little self-control. Just do whatever you got to do to form the habits that's going to carry you through the next day, the next week. Okay? So that's my personal fitness journey. Video games, I'm taking a break from Final Fantasy 15. I was kind of starting to get bored with it, and honestly, it's kind of my own personal taste in games. Uh, 15 was really great for me until I started slowly realizing that there's a certain mechanic that's introduced into the game, and I've had that mechanic introduced for a while now, but it just got worse and worse. It's game breaking. Like, you basically are invincible, and you can kill any difficult enemy that's like got you actually in there trying and stuff. This just kicks in, and well, I mean, I'm not trying to spoil it, but I guess I'll just go ahead and tell you it's the summons. The summons it's just totally game breaking. I started realizing that, hey, I don't need to get stronger. Like, and I love getting stronger in video games, in RPGs. It's one of my favorite elements to RPGs is leveling up, is finding the new armor, crafting the new equipment and the new swords and stuff, and just trying to get your numbers up and higher enough that you can take on the new boss, the optional bosses, and the difficult stuff. And when a game introduces summons and makes it OP as heck, it really starts to take away my incentive for getting stronger. So then I'm like, well, okay, if it's pointless in me getting stronger, what am I doing? So I bounced off of that, and I'm looking for another game to play. I played 9 for about an hour. It's really cool. It's really good. I may be trying to dive back into that, but it is a little kind of dated. It's so hard to go back. We're spoiled with all these new graphics and stuff. But for the part I played, I was really enjoying it. I do want to go back to that, so we'll see how that works out. Anime, I finished Kemono Jihen, and I've been searching for another one. I did watch the first season of an anime called Talentless Nana, which I don't know if I'll be doing a spotlight on, but it was very interesting. It's nothing like I thought it was going to be. The first 2 episodes are dubbed on Funimation, the rest of them are subbed. And like I said before, I am okay with both, so I watched the whole thing. It's a very interesting anime. If you want it, it's definitely more gory, definitely more of adult content kind of thing. Nothing really sexual like that. No, it's like bloody, gory death. It's weird, but yeah, so I encourage you to watch that. It's got plot twists out the butt. The first episode definitely shocked me. Talentless Nana, give it a shot. It's crazy, that's for sure. Alright, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you learned something. I hope I was able to produce something that made sense. I am trying my best, but definitely a work in progress, I would say. But thank you for coming along with me, and if you made it to this part of the video, thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, leave comments, and tell your friends, please. I am a very small channel, but I want to grow a community where we can all talk about what we're doing in our fitness lives, what we're doing outside of our fitness lives, and have each other's backs a little bit, you know? Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!